He's done hundreds of installations, worked with state government for 25 years. We are the most efficient that he's seen. We operate at 19 kilowatt per square foot. Most facilities are within the 20 to 25 kilowatt range. So I'm really proud of that effort that we've made in that.
Hey everyone, Krista Helfrey here, back with another episode of OMES Insider. Today our guest is with Facilities Management inside the Capital Assets Management Division of OMES, David John, Systems Operations Administrator. Welcome.
Welcome.
So you work within facilities management. What does that look like within state government? What does facilities do? How does it contribute?
So we maintain the 22 state buildings that surround the Capitol, along with the Capitol building, Governor's Mansion, make sure that they continue to operate so that our tenant agencies can continue to do their jobs. So we make sure that the HVAC is working properly, that plumbing issues are addressed, any infrastructure needs, we try and kind of plan those activities to make sure that these buildings continue to operate efficiently and in a good operating condition.
Wonderful. So that agencies can continue to fulfill their missions without worrying about anything going on in the building.
Right.
So your role, Systems Operations Administrator, how does that tie into the facilities mission?
So I oversee the central maintenance program. Okay. So these are the guys that go out if there's a plugged toilet or we have a broken pipe somewhere or your electricity doesn't work. They come in and assess and repair as needed. So we have that portion of it. And then we also operate, it's a preventive maintenance program that goes and services all of our major mechanical equipment to make sure those continue to function efficiently and for the long term. So, and then we also have a operations group which manages our building automation system, which is our remote sensing technology that allows us to control zone temperatures amongst all of our buildings.
And you mentioned the state capitol, historic building. I know there's a few others. So what's it like working on those historic buildings, and are there any challenges associated with that maintenance?
So, historic buildings are they're always a challenge because there are certain aspects of them that are irreplaceable. When you start getting into repairs and refurbishments and trying to bring new modern equipment into these spaces, you start running into how do you meld that into the old fabric of the buildings. We actually operate the state capitol, Jim Thorpe building, which is currently going under renovation, Governor's Mansion, and the Judicial Center are all historic buildings that we manage and take great pride in making sure that they're going to operate into the future.
And how have you seen the buildings change over time in your role?
When I started, in the intervening 17 years, they've tightened down security, so now we just have the public-facing lobby areas and then direct traffic to where they actually need to be. So that's one of the big changes. When I first started, we had a kind of a diffuse maintenance program. So every building had its own little staff, and they didn't share services or resources. So it was very difficult to get things done. Since then, we've consolidated everything. Everyone actually is dispatched out of this shop, campus-wide. We've also made a huge push to modernize our equipment and start really focusing on energy management. We just went through a study with an ESCO company. They discover energy savings, and then they kind of pre-fund projects with those savings. And they came back and said, he's done hundreds of installations, worked with state government for 25 years. We are the most efficient that he's seen. We operate at 19 kilowatt per square foot. Most facilities are within the 20 to 25 kilowatt range. So I'm really proud of that effort that we've made in the last 17 years to really improve our facilities and our energy footprint.
Yeah, and I mean, making sure the infrastructure is stable and functional, as well as maintaining, aesthetically pleasing, happy places to work, where people can be comfortable and do their jobs well.
I'm just looking forward to continuing our efforts. I think we've done a lot of infrastructure upgrades over the past 10 to 15 years, and now we're going to start trying to roll into improving some of the aesthetics of our buildings. I'm really looking forward to continuing that effort.
So if an agency in one of these buildings has a need that they have to go to your team for, how do they get in touch with you? What does that process look like?
So we have a integrated work management system that we have tenant liaisons that are in that system, and they put work orders in as needed for our tenant agencies to address any issues that they have.
Well, thank you for joining us here for this episode of OMES Insider. It was a pleasure to learn more about facilities management and your role specifically. Also, side note, maybe not a well-known fact, but David actually won our 2022 Manager of the Year award for OMES, so that's exciting. And big congratulations to you and all that your team is doing. And if you like this episode, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on OMES Insider.